Every president is gay, and I got the proof. So don't believe none of this bullshit that they teach in school. These teachers lying every day. Every president is gay. Every president is gay, every single one. There ain't nothing wrong with two gay men who fall in love. Ain't much more that I can say. Every president is gay. Teddy Roosevelt's about as gay as you can get. Gayer than two men who sit and watch each other shit. Gayer than a birthday card. Gayer than a leotard. Teddy Roosevelt, he used to hand out mustache rides. He would tell the men and women all to get in line. He would eat the women out, then he'd suck some penis down. And you might think that Mr. Clinton is a hetero, but that's 'cause Hillary's a man and you ain't even know. And Miss Lewinsky is a dude, and the girls that he raped too. Know that Thomas Jefferson's a rapist too, and if you don't watch out he might just end up raping you. We're just lucky that he's dead so he don't sneak in your bed. 'Cause every president is gay and I got the proof. So don't believe none of that bullshit that they teach in school. These teachers lying every day. Every president is gay. Every president is gay, every single one. And there ain't nothing wrong with two gay men who fall in love. Ain't much more that I can say. Every president is gay. And the reason why George Washington had wooden teeth is because they got knocked out while he was sucking D. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm just giving you the facts. Richard Nixon, well, he puts the gay in Watergate. He used to look at porno mags with men and masturbate. Ah, but fuck it, so do I. So what's wrong with liking guys? And Melania, she told me Donald Trump was gay. She made him build the wall to keep the Mexicans away. 'Cause he's attracted to the men and she's afraid he'll cheat again. Nobody ever wants to fuck the president unless you're JFK, but look at what they did to him. Put a bullet in his head, now that motherfucker's dead. 'Cause every president is gay and I got the proof. So don't believe none of that bullshit that they teach in school. These teachers lying every day. Every president is gay. President is gay, every single one. And there ain't nothing wrong with two gay men who fall in love. Ain't much more that I can say. Every president is gay.
I love how there's going to be at least one person every time I stream that will be utterly fucking confused by the music that I start with. It's always gonna be a jovial thing when I start with music. You just better hope I never start with no music. Because if I start with no music, that's how you know it's bad. That's how you know I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna actually be agitated. I'm gonna be pissed off. I'm gonna be upset. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because in my head, play it again? No. In my head, I feel like music could be a nice little icebreaker. I feel like music could just be that thing to let everything to be out. You know what? Town hall meetings will have no music. Town hall meetings will have no music. That's it. town hall meetings will have no music because they don't need it. They just need the energy of a guy and the really great work that the guy puts in. You know, if I donate, will you? You know what? Now I got to give you an unrealistic price so that I know you don't donate. $2,000, I'll play it again. There you go. That's what you got to do. When you don't want to do something and somebody wants to give you money for the thing you don't want to do, just give them an unrealistic price. Because you don't want to do it. So why even try to do it again? You know? That's the trick. If you don't want to do something, but somebody wants to give you money for it, and even after you think about it, you still don't want to do it, just fucking give them an egregious price. That's all it is. But good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I have bad news that anyone who's been watching me stream for like the past 3 days, what if they give $2,000? They're not gonna give $2,000. See, I see that's the reason why I set unrealistic expectations, is because I know it ain't gonna happen. So that's one thing. Number two, anyone who's been watching any of my streams for like the past week, you'll be disappointed in me to know, you will be very upset to know that I'm actually enjoying this fucking game. It took a while, but I'm enjoying the game. I'm sorry, it's gotten a little bit fun. You know, once you get past the boring tutorial, the game is fun. Like, I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to hate everything for the rest of my days and whatnot and blah, 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 blah. But when I look at things objectively, they're fun, man. They're just fun. I'm sorry, but they're fun. But you're not really going to hear game audio because we're going to spend our time. No longer got buyer's remorse. No longer have buyer's remorse. That's true. I no longer have buyer's remorse. I did at first because it was so boring. But once I kind of got into it, the combat is still questionable. The hit detection is still terrible. You know? But I no longer have buyer's remorse. And I got this somewhat legendary-esque costume still early in the game. You know? Still relatively early in the game for me. But we're not here for this. I mean, technically it'll be in the background while we look at a few things, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We're here for this jump scare. I scared y'all with ugly. But before we get to this, apparently our good buddy Mario has gone woke. And there's trouble in the land because doesn't that fucking game come out not this week, but next week? Doesn't a new Mario game come out next week? Like literally the same day as Spider-Man, because Nintendo wants to act like they're the best? You know what I'm saying? So, apparently, Mario's gone woke. And I saw people screenshotting this fucking video. I was like, it can't be that bad. It's a guy giving his opinion in the world. By the way, look at this fucking... Man, hold on. Before I play this, just look at this. Like, look at this. This motherfucker is supposed to be an assassin in Baghdad. He is exactly what the witches would try to stone. Like, this is the shit people would try to stone for being a witch. Like, if we being honest, she is Louise. But still look good. Anyway, now, Mario's gone woke, new voice actor, Kevin, I feel like that can't be his last name. I feel like that just can't be his last name.
Now, this is not 100% confirmed yet, but it would appear that the new voice actor for Mario is none other than Kevin Afghani. And I don't really know what this dude has done.
That's a real last name.
I'm not familiar with his other works, and I've never even heard of him before until just a few minutes ago. But apparently he's done some work in the world of voice acting and has landed the role of Mario in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Now, I wouldn't really care normally, it's just that...
As you shouldn't. Because let's be honest, it's a video game. I don't know how many times we can have this discussion about video games. You can turn the shit off. You cannot pay attention to it. Especially if you are a grown-ass adult. You know, y'all like to pick and choose what grown adults can and cannot be doing with their daily lives. I promise y'all, being upset at Nintendo, come on now, there's better shit to do.
Well, let's take a look at his profile picture. What do you see here?
What's
Any
the problem?
red flags?
What's the problem?
I see an enormous red flag. He's a pronoun person, okay? Pronouns he, him. Now, I hear you ask, why is that a big deal? Aren't he, him pronouns normal? Don't...
Yes! As much as motherfuckers want to think he, him is like this fucking acronym for bending over, you've been using he and him as pronouns since you were in grade school. Once we get to that Zer territory, then you lose me.
Isn't that like the pronouns everyone has? It's not like he's using kitten self pronouns or some other ridiculous stuff. That doesn't matter. The bigger problem is that he seems to think that it's necessary to broadcast those pronouns. And the only reason I would guess that he feels that way is because of the larger cultural push from those on the left to rupture our identities and confuse everyone by teaching the younger generations
how to use pronouns correctly.
That they can just choose to be whatever gender or any other thing that they want to be. I have to choose my words very carefully here because this is YouTube, but the mere acknowledgement of the importance, and I say that in quotes, of so-called pronouns in our culture today is complicity in the degradation of this culture.
Huh? The degradation of culture in a Mario game. Huh? In Mario? Where the motherfucker's like, Yahoo! Really? In Mario. I'm supposed to feel like the structure of humanity is ruptured by a plumber. By a plumber. The one who goes, Yahoo! Yaha! Butter. When I tell y'all shit will never be this deep for me, this is what I mean. When I see a guy with pronouns on Twitter and they have a job, and they have a job as a voice actor, I'm waiting for the rupture of human society and American culture. Once again, maybe back in the 80s and the 90s when apparently shit was cool to y'all, nobody knew what a he was. Maybe. And that speaks levels to the American education system, which is already garbage. But you cannot, I'll say this again, you cannot run around saying that the structure is going to be fucked because of a guy who goes, Yahoo! It's a plumber who fights turtles. And, once again, if it is such a problem for any of you, actually, the one thing you can do is turn it off. You ain't gotta watch it. You ain't gotta play it. You ain't gotta take part in none of it. You can just turn it the fuck off. I didn't even notice the motherfucker's pronouns until one man army here decided he wanted to tell me about them. Because in my mind, maybe I'm crazy, it don't fucking matter. Like, am I lost here? I might be alone here because I know there's some people who don't like the fact that people use pronouns like willy-nilly and whatnot. But in my head, I'm thinking, golly, I don't give a fuck. Like, I just don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck because it's fucking basic English. That's it. It's basic fucking English. If it's anything else, it's basic English. What it's been. If it was some overdramatic ass Z's or Zim, which is the same thing that I've been speaking of, that would be the only thing that could confuse me. It'd be that. But if a guy who is a guy says, oh, I'm a guy and I identify as a guy, what indeed is the problem?
I posted a reply to Afghani's tweet and
And that's another thing. Maybe I'm drunk. I ain't never ever not played my fair share of Mario games. I don't think I've ever seen motherfuckers care about pronouns in a Mario game. I'm just saying. In a Mario game? Like, come on now. It's a Mario game, baby.
Immediately was swarmed by a
You sound drunk? Maybe.
bunch of... In any case, one of the things they kept replying to me with was, well, you have pronouns too. Shut up. Like, seriously, shut up. It's not the same thing, okay?
Huh? What do you mean? It is the same. It's the English language. What the fuck are we doing here? Bro, it's the fucking English language. So when a nigga say, this is not the same, I'm different. What? Yo, he got a lowercase on it? That's what it is. That's what it got.
Quote-unquote pronouns are what they would have been.
What the fuck do you mean, quote-unquote pronouns? It's a way. Nah, I might be drunk. Let me play that back.
Complicity in the degradation of this
I might actually be drunk.
culture. I posted a reply to Afghani's tweet and I immediately was swarmed by a bunch of... In any case, one of the things they kept replying to me with was, well, you have pronouns too. Shut up. Like, seriously, shut up. It's not the same thing, okay?
Huh?
My quote-unquote pronouns are what they would have been 100 years ago, okay?
Huh? Huh? Your pronouns 100 years ago, those were he, right? He. Right? Unless, you know, let's be fair here. Let's be gender inclusive. Maybe grammar wasn't that strong for the American public back then.
Pronouns today are what they would have been 2,000 years ago. They aren't some new age made up BS to make me feel good.
Huh? Now look, class, I have a question. I was born year 1999. I grew up going to school in the 2000s and 2010s. I've always known about a pronoun. I've always been made aware of pronouns. And the pronouns were typically he, she, they, them. Like that's been the that was the standard. I wouldn't even say that was the standard. That was just English. So when a motherfucker would like, hey everybody, here we are. My name is. Like, oh, your name is that. But it's like, you trying to make it seem like just now started existing. And I'm sitting there like, buddy boy, how did we get to this point in our life? I don't think it's a good decision. Losing brain cells listening to him. I'm losing a lot listening to him. Because he wants to sound like the guy. The problem is, indeed, he sounds like the opposite of the guy. He sounds like the he-him.
My quote-unquote pronouns are simply a description of my gender, and gender is simply another way of saying sex. Someone responded by saying a pronoun person is just a human being. Buddy, I'm not arguing against their existence as people. Of course they're human beings. You're just muddying the water here. What I'm against is using this commie news...
Hey Leon, have you seen the video about the chick who tried to shame her date for taking her to the Cheesecake Factory? Yes, I have. And the amount of red pill content y'all gonna get out of that is gonna make my head hurt. So instead of letting everybody know, I'll just say this. That one woman is wildly stupid, considering she also had the opportunity to go on fancy schmancy date. She was late. So it's her fault, 100%. She is not every woman. There are women who would love to go to Cheesecake Factory. There are women who would love to go to Cheesecake Factory. And if you offer them like a fancy ass date that's not Cheesecake Factory, they gonna want to go to that too. So, I've never been to Cheesecake Factory. You're missing out, partner. I don't know what's been going on. There's been a lot of stupid discourse about where people should and shouldn't be going because everybody wants to think that they live $100. Everybody got they live $100 and now they think they're a big shot. Because before the Cheesecake Factory thing, there was a collection of people walking around saying, "Oh, you shop at Walmart? You're poor. It's like, are we really shaming people for shopping at Walmart? I'm sorry, but I can get a big ass box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch for at least $2 cheaper at Walmart than you want to be fancy non-white black bitches that won't go to Target just to sit in the Starbucks section. Like, let's be something and let's be fucking for real. What do I be saying? If we gonna be something, let's be fucking for real. And then this Cheesecake Factory shit, like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If I'm gonna set the timeline up perfectly. First, it was Walmart. It was this discourse around Walmart. Then it's this video of this guy talking about how he went on a date to some restaurant with a chick and she just buying a bunch of drinks and he ain't got no money. And he asking his partners, yo, loan me $50, loan me this, loan me that. Then it was this cheesecake shit. And if anything could be said about any of these situations that I described to you, is that men, and there's another one where I guess somebody went to a seafood spot in Atlanta and they gargled down 48 oysters. And apparently it's either the man's fault or the woman's fault. And it's like, y'all shaping y'all dating experience from other motherfuckers, bruh. Y'all shaping y'all dating experience from other people in other situations. Yes, you can look at a situation and be like, man, that shit fucking dumb. But you shouldn't then say, see what these modern women are doing? Trying to group all these women up just because you see 3 of them dumb. But then if a man do the same shit, it's, oh, well, he's a man. So, ooh, woo, he's masculine. Like, stop doing that. Yes, 48 oysters. She a true woman of the South. Cause she gargled them things down like a champion. I might look for the video, but I might look for the video. She over there like, I can't fucking imitate this sound for the life of me. Imagine somebody slurping. She just, I know this is uncomfortable, but I have to emphasize what she's doing. Just 48 oysters. It's ridiculous.
Speak to further alienate the younger generations from their own identities.
Huh?
That and so much more is what's going on. One of these weirdos even told me to take the easy way out.
Listen, just because y'all disagree with people on Twitter don't mean you should be running around telling them to end their life. Let's just get that out the way right there. Let's just go ahead, get that out the way. That don't need to be happening. Nobody's cool with that. I'm not cool with that. You shouldn't be cool with that either. I don't know why y'all pick and choose when y'all want that to be cool. It's not cool. But to end this topic, bro, you wasted 3 minutes of my life that I ain't getting back. I thought you was gonna have this big expose about why it's a problem. You just sitting there complaining. Curse Leon ASMR. Man, chill out. Now I gotta find the video. I gotta find this video of 48 oysters. Hi-cha! As you see me kill this guy. I gotta find this video. Hold on. 48. Oh, raw oysters. Oh no, it was what? Shorty bust down 48 raw oysters. Ooh, woo. Oh, no.
Yeah, so today I linked with this nigga I met a few weeks ago out with my friends. This nigga been texting me for weeks talking to himself. Why I didn't...
First red flag, if you just trying to engage with a female and she ain't giving you no type of play for, as she put it, weeks, pack it up, go find you somebody else to juice. Like, real talk. Go find you somebody else you can juice, partner, because it ain't gonna pan out right there. I'm telling you, like, that's an automatic waste of time. So I'm not really feeling bad for the dude so far. I'm not really seeing a reason why I should feel bad for Buddy.
Didn't block him, bitch, I don't know. But today I was bored and I had time, so he texted me like, can we meet for drinks? And I'm like, yeah, meet me here. They got the best fucking oysters in Atlanta, like, hands down. So
bro, listen to the sound this woman make when she eating these oysters.
I'm like, yes, I can get some content, come on. It's so good.
Bruh! Just like straight, just go. Crazy work, crazy man, crazy work. I never had oysters, man. Depending on where you go, they either gonna be the best thing ever or the nastiest shit ever. It all depends on who making them. And I, for the life of me, that was visceral. Yes, it was. It's the fact that I got this playing in my ear. I feel bad for anybody else who got headphones. Y'all like that? I like that sound. New soundboard entry coming up. Not on your worst day would I ever have this as a soundboard. You might have me confused with somebody else, partner. Not me.
Y'all, when the fourth one came out, he was looking at me crazy. I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, baby, you invited me out. I'm gonna eat. And I was coming anyway. But I ain't gonna lie. No, I wouldn't have did all that. But I did do all that. It was so good. I was not expecting it to be that good. Oh my God. It was just so good. Like, I had to. It was so good. So after that, I'm like, baby, what's next? What I'm about to eat? These potatoes, they were so good. And the crab cakes, everything was so good. 10, baby. Why the fuck this bitch ass nigga say he going to the bathroom and never come back?
I didn't know that part. I didn't know that part. No, I ain't know that part. I ain't finished the video. All that slurping fucked me up. I ain't gonna lie, all that slurping, bitch did fuck me up. I ain't know the man dipped.
The fuck? I'm like, hold the fuck on. It's been like 10, 20, 30 minutes, bitch. What the fuck this nigga at? Had to end up grabbing a tab, bitch. Nigga left me with his little one fucking drink. Yeah, bitch. I'm so glad bitch keep me some money, cause what? That was crazy to me. And I said, bitch, you running out on the tab. He talking about, I'm offering you to drink. The fuck are you talking about, bitch?
Man. Hey, never mind. W man, he did his thing. He did what he was supposed to do in that scenario. Shit. But look, I ain't gonna lie. If I'm being honest, if I'm being fair, let's think about this. You texting shorty, trying to probably get a date out of her. She clearly ghosting you up until the point where she bored enough. She like, all right, bro, what? That's an L for you. You, lady, using this man for free food, that's an L for you. Then you got to pay for it because he walked out on you because he just wanted to he wanted to get some drinks to get to know you. You, or drug you, can't know these days anymore. Hey, you like, let me just my way to some oysters. He like, man, fuck this. Let me go shit and dip real quick. Let me go shit and dip real quick because this ain't it. I ain't fun. He got to fuck. Oh, man. Couldn't be a scenario where that shit possibly happened to me. So overall, who takes the L here, chat? The man or the woman? Who among thee takes the L? Is it the man or does it be the woman? Who loses here? Personally, I think it might be a tie. I'm gonna tell you why it might be a tie. Buddy wasted gas, phone battery, text message time, all that for an outcome he didn't like, which is a hungry bitch. She tried to run up on him, not run up like a fight, but like run up his numbers, run down his bank account. You know? But it didn't pan out the way he wanted to. I think it's a tie. Colored woman L is crazy when you really fucking think about it. But I expect nothing less from a fucking account that's Uncle Ruckus. I can't expect anything more from something like that. I truly cannot. I truly cannot. I just can't. I'm sorry. The oysters? Shit, maybe. Oh my God. Y'all funny. Y'all funny for unrealistic reasons. Oh, that was hilarious. Both L, but the glutton had to pay, so a big L for her. The restaurant takes the L. How? They got work and service. You know? All right. Here's where we get a headache. Now, y'all know me. Y'all know I don't like red pill in any capacity. I don't have a reason to. I don't have a desire nor a reason to like red pill. I just can't, you know? Not a desirable thing to be a part of. A group of lonely men trying to rationalize their loneliness by trying to sound masculine when all they sound like is pretentious little girls. I've adopted the philosophy that they're nothing more than the blue-haired feminist, you know? I believe they're the blue-haired feminist. They are annoying. They can't get relationships that they continue to cry about wanting, so they have to rationalize it by gaslighting themselves into thinking they're the perfect human being who does no wrong. Which does not ever work. Just so we all know, it never works. And so Pearl, apparently, is going to explain to everyone that red pill is not like feminism at all. So, woman, tell me your secret.
All right, what up, guys? Welcome to the.
Oh, I gotta speed you up. You talk so slow. I got a 1.5, yeah, baby.
Just Pearly Things YouTube channel, and welcome to my morning coffee thoughts, where I give my thoughts over morning coffee. Before I start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. The way you're going to be notified.
Why would I want to listen to a woman who actively wants her vote taken away from her, and will also say things like repeal the 19th? And wants that to be a thing normalized for other women to lose the right for them to vote? I wonder why or how could anyone possibly want that outcome? Or why would they want to bother somebody like me with that type of outcome? And if we want to push this narrative beyond voting, curious, would you see the female dating podcast, especially the black women dating podcast? No. Here's the thing. Here's my beef with here's my beef with this type of content. Whether it be from a white woman, white men, black women, it is the same mundane shit. Hurt individuals who did not heal and they want to spend their time in their insecurities.
Also, stop hiring black people to make Mexican food. Would you trust a white person to make you Chinese food?
That don't know how to heal, but instead use their insecurities to speak in front of a microphone that they finance to prey upon the insecurities of a man or a woman given the circumstances of whoever their audience is. Ultimately, nobody gets any genuine form of content or context. You know? Oh yeah, coffee brand coffee. We got K-Cups now. Get your K-Cups. Use code RUIN at checkout. You know what I'm saying? You support the business, but more importantly, you support me. And I know that's all you care about. I know you only care about liking me. What was we doing? Oh, we was watching Boring. Damn it! Hit play.
Notified of my daily videos, like the video on your way in, and also get yourself a Women Shouldn't Vote shirt. None of these problems would have happened.
Where's COD? I don't know where COD is, but I don't respect a gay man giving his opinion on dating straight women. You're outside the club complaining about the club. You might want to find a new profession. You get bullied by thinking women are the problem so much you're never going to succeed. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd hope better for you, but typically, that's not really how I go about it. Now let's continue.
If women didn't get the right to vote, we're also going to come out with some women shouldn't drive. We're always texting and driving, you know, and then also a repeal the 19th shirt. So the link to that, it'll be in the description. But if you don't have that, it's the audacitynetwork.store. That's the audacitynetwork.store. So today what I wanted to talk about is how the red pill is absolutely different than feminism. So one cope that I often see from, and it's really annoying. I actually find this very annoying. All of these red pill people and influencers will make money off of red pill. So they'll come in and they'll look at the original guy's work.
You! What? You! Oh, don't have this be like Tipster. Don't have this be like Tipster, where I gotta fucking point out that this woman is exactly what she talks about. I don't have the energy to be yelling, man. It's crazed, man. We don't need this type of negativity in our lives, man. We don't need it, man. Fuck.
You know, Rollo, some of these other guys work, and they'll take parts of it, right? Make money off of it. But
Rollo, the red pill godfather? I'm out. Good night, y'all. Well, unfortunately, I'm staying.
then what they'll do is 6 months later, they'll like turn, because honestly, the end of the red pill, guys, it's not an easy message to sell. If you're looking at predicting the future, not what should or shouldn't happen in society, but what is likely going to happen, it's really not a grim future, or it's not like a happy future. And I don't say this like I'm happy about it. I don't say this like I'm super excited that it's going to happen. There were points where I denied it, where I was like, well, this isn't going to happen. But at some point, you kind of just accept what's true. And what I'm about to tell you is absolutely true. I would bet.
Isn't this the woman that wants to repeal the 19th, yet she has no government power to do so? She's just hoping bitches don't fucking vote. Oh my God, I'm going to have a stroke.
All the money that I have that this is going to happen. So unless there is a societal shift, but I'll get to that. So the red pill is used in a lot of different terms. There's a lot of different ways people use this. But let's just talk about the truth about intersexual dynamics. And the truth of the matter is, right now, marriage doesn't exist. We are in a post-marriage society.
No, we're not. Y'all, for some reason. Everybody stop. There's the modern woman herself. Here's my mascot for modern women. My good buddy, my little big sister. Hi, Peachy. If I was a desperate loser man and I wanted to shit on modern women, I wouldn't listen to a group of dudes who can't get no vagina talk about OnlyFans women and comparing them to a modern woman like Peachy. Peachy has a job. Peachy is hardworking. Peachy has her days where she don't want to do a damn thing. Peachy not spreading her pussy on OnlyFans. She almost did, but she didn't. And you know what Peachy has in her mind that she wants in her life? Peachy wants to be married. And I have steered Peachy in the right direction, away from this. I have steered Peachy away from this because she used to think this was very smart. And we've already denounced Pearl. We found out she is layered in insecurities. And she's just projecting them on all of you. I don't know why I went Scooby-Doo just now, but okay.
But we don't know it yet. A lot of people are still living in the past. So what happened was about, when I was in high school, about 8th grade, social media came. And I would say from when I started high school to after high school, I kind of saw the shift of people living more and more online. And as we got to be a more and more online age, women, we had access to the top shelf men, right? So average, normal looking girl.
Your online armchair psychiatrist. I personally wouldn't give someone who thinks that issues are only possible by a certain specific gender my time. It's also true. But we must critique. We must. Because what I find funny about Pearl, if there's anything I have similar to Miss Pearly Things, is that the both of us are probably going to die alone. Like, but at least, there's still a chance for me. There's still a chance for me out there. Pearl, the wells run dry on you, little girl.
Girls could get DMs from Drake. Now, a lot of
Just Booger Wolf things is crazy when you actually know. If anybody knows the definition of a Booger Wolf, you would be drastically dying of laughter right now.
you guys will think, well, and this, I used to have these thoughts too. I would think, well, I was never invited on a yacht. Like, where were these yacht parties? Right? So
You not getting an invite. Shorty, I ain't gonna lie to you. What is a Booger Wolf? You're on your own to Google that one. Shorty, you not getting an invite to no yacht party from Drake. I hate to be that guy, but I love being that guy. Drake not gonna invite you on no boat, bro. You not getting the invite to the penthouse, bro. It ain't gonna happen. You not built for that life. I'll marry her for the money. Hey, you can cheat on her and she'll just be like, damn, let me try harder. Cause fuck, she don't believe in divorce. So fuck, you can cheat on her. You can cheat on her.
So it might not necessarily be Drake, okay, or like whatever Kanye, whatever celebrity we're gonna use. But think about the fact that some of these guys have slept with 1,000 women. Some have slept with 50. Some have slept with 20.
They're whores. They're whores. They're whores. They're whores. They're whores. And if she tries to tell me that a man sleeping around with a bunch of women is fine, but she'll demonize women for that, she's a hypocrite. Come on, bro.
That's 20 wives that are going to get married later. And when you start thinking about these like real numbers of women, like, I mean, Drake gets his bras thrown at him on stage. These are women a lot of times that go off to get married. And the problem with all that is, in history, we have always had institutions in place to stop women from leaving the peasant for the king. Because female nature, and this isn't like a fun fact about female nature, is if we think we can get commitment and resources from the king, we're gonna leave. Don't know why, but like women, we just have patterns, okay? And you'll see this even among elite.
What patterns you have? You ain't been around no king. You can't even get a peasant to look your way.
Like aristocratic women, where they did monkey branch, they did cheat because they were around all the kings, right? And women, we just have this tendency to always want to do better, never happy, don't know why. And okay, so social media comes in, and all us women now are being marketed to 24/7. So 24 hours a day, we have all this media telling us it's okay to be fat, you're amazing. It's okay to sleep around, you're not a slut. And guys,
class, you know what other demographic gets promoted things? Like being fat is okay, and it's okay to sleep around. Does anybody know the group? I believe they call themselves a certain pill color, represented by people like Andrew Tate and Fresh and Not Fit. Hello?
if you're hearing this message from the time you're 12 to maybe 35 when reality hits us in the face, you're gonna believe it. And the thing about women, if you get in our...
No, you're not. And this is the shit that's pissed me off about consuming media. No one's gonna believe me, but I thought about this last night. As much as y'all want to blame the internet and Hollywood for every problem that you see now, whether if it's your beef with transgenders, or your beef with their pronouns, or your beef with feminism, your beef with it all being put on TV, the real failure is the parents. Because the parents, whether they be newer parents or older parents, don't teach their child the basic understanding that, hey, you're going to live this life, you're going to live it for a while, and you're going to see a lot of things. A lot of things you're going to be confused by, a lot of things you probably could agree with. Don't just jump into things all willy-nilly. Have an open mind, but don't just jump in. Be critical, but don't be disrespectful. And ultimately, live your life. As long as you ain't fucking no kid. You see, in my youth, my mother let me watch a lot of shit. I was watching South Park as an 8-year-old. I was watching Boondocks. I was watching Family Guy, American Dad, The News. I was watching a lot of shit. But you know what else I was watching? I'm surprised, as much as y'all want to talk about how Hollywood is indoctrinating kids, I'm surprised I'm not a transgender by the amount of times I saw a male cartoon character dressed as a fucking female. Hello? Do y'all not remember Bugs Bunny? Y'all know what Bugs Bunny used to do in his spare time? Motherfucker used to dress like a woman to entice any male that was trying to fuck with him. Hello? And this is not new. This was not in the 2010s. This was in the 90s, in the 80s. Back when the shit was apparently not as bad. Oh, it was. The problem? Your pee-wee brains didn't comprehend it. But y'all don't want to admit your pee-wee brains didn't comprehend it. So when I tell people like Peachy to go back and watch these shows, they don't do it because they know I'm right. They know if they go back and watch it, they're going to see the same bullshit they complain about now. Bugs was kissing dudes. Thank you. How come I'm not gay? This is wild to me. This is a wild concept to me. But for some reason, it's cool to y'all. Looney Tunes is timeless. Exactly. You could watch the Looney Tunes from the 70s and 80s, or you could watch it from last night, and it'll still have that charm. Brother, if people would just teach their kids Life is going to give them a bunch of experiences. Take your time, be smart, comprehend, but don't just run around willy-nilly. You'll be all right. Because technically,
man.
Somebody just follow me on Kick? Hold on. I must see this. Stop the entire stream. I must see if someone followed me on Kick. What a wonderful scenario for me, if that's the case. Someone did. Oh, great joy. I sound so douchey. But great. Someone followed me on Kick. I love it. But bruh, I wish this type of grift would stop, because the only way this type of grift works is if the people watching it believe that everything changed in the past 2 years. It's impossible.
Our ear long enough, we just start to believe stuff. I don't know what it is about us. And that's why you see, like in the younger polls, women becoming more liberal, men becoming more conservative. Men aren't as, they'll question things. They're not as likely to buy stuff. They're more likely to say, oh no, I'm not with that.
Welcome to the plantation.
Now let's kind of dive into the divorce stuff.
Motherfucker just followed me on Twitch. What the hell? Get a lot of traction lately, which is good, because guess what? Guess what? I will be streaming Spider-Man on all different platforms. And guess what? The costume might be coming before the game drops. I just gotta fingers crossed this bitch. If I can fingers cross this bitch, I'll be all right. I just gotta hope my costume comes Thursday.
And a lot of people will accuse me of being doom and gloom, but really I just look at the
You're not doom and gloom, you're just doom and dumb.
numbers. Right now, only 50% of people stay married. So there's a 50-50 divorce rate. And let's be honest, guys, is the reputation of marriage good?
Yes.
No. And a lot of times what the right will do is they'll have like a shaming tactic, or the left too, and they'll say like, oh, well, I mean, it's just the people you're around, da-da-da-da-da. I think you kind of have to deny
it is actually the people you're around. Why am I getting a bunch of follows on Kick?
reality if you don't see people in and out of the church in good communities and bad communities getting divorced and hating each other. Because if it was a good reputation, if marriage was this thing that people wanted to do that had a good reputation, then it wouldn't have the reputation it has. Whose fault is it for the reputation? It says something about it. So 50% of marriages fail. The majority of people do not have a good.
Also, see how she conveniently didn't specify who's at fault? It's kind of based on which story you're going to go with. If you want to go the route of saying, I like her kitchen, I don't, because I doubt she cooks in it. I don't think I would want her food, if I'm being brutally honest. I don't think it's food for me. I don't think it's food fit for a Leon. A Leon has an acquired taste of culinary delicacies.
Good view on marriage. So let's say half of the people that get married hate each other.
Pearl's food or yours? I'll eat my food.
That's a 75% failure rate. That means
That's the beauty of me. I know how to cook.
you're more likely to fail. So
I don't know who my wife gonna end up being, but guess what? Wherever you at, you ain't gotta worry about being in the kitchen, partner. It's good eats around me.
that's in marriage. Now, Morgan Stanley is predicting half of my generation of women are going to be single and childless. 45% of us. So what this means is
You part of that. Zinger.
that half of us are going to not get married, and the other half of us are going to be that do get married. Half will get divorced, and out of the other half that stay married, half of them are going to be miserable. So what is that, like a 10-20%? So knowing
That's not math.
this, now we look at the men's side of things. Like, you got to think about this from the men's side. Right now, women
Excuse me, you're not a man.
have all the power in society. Now you could
No, they
argue
don't.
maybe it's men's fault for giving it to them, but most men today had zero say in what happened 100 years ago. None of them had any, this isn't the system we're born into. It was none of our faults. I could even argue women are addicted to social media because this is the time period we grew up in, right?
Men are addicted to social media too. You know how many fake flexes try to impress themselves? Matter of fact, where's the video? I need it. I need the video. 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 I gotta find it. I don't even know where I could possibly find it. Oh, Chick Try sent me something. And that's something we were supposed to speak on a few days ago. Not even a few days ago. Maybe like a couple hours ago. Oh, did I bookmark it? I don't think I bookmarked this. I do not think I bookmarked this, and I am ashamed of myself. Damn it! Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Where is it? Now I gotta fucking think. What would be something stupid that could correlate to this tweet? Boom! Ooh! I found it. I am a genius. A genius. Okay. Talk about addiction to social media. Now, I want y'all to listen to what's about to be said, and I defy y'all to tell me. I dare anyone tell me the dude is in the right. Like, I heard this, and I thought, man, these women, fuck. Tough luck of the draw dealing with brokies.
Taking a girl on a date, what cuisine are we looking at?
Took a girl to a place called Monkey House, yeah, and I didn't know how expensive it was. And you know how it is.
That's strike one.
When you're going out and you're
Them
buying
places
these
are
drinks,
expensive for
they're expensive,
drink.
innit? So she's ordered like 4 cocktails, yeah, and she hasn't even ordered her food yet. It's coming up to like 40 quid. I've only got a bill 50. So I started like saying, I ain't even that hungry, you know. She's like, well, I'm hungry. I'm gonna order. So I've gone to the toilet and I've texted my boy. He's not answering, so I've called him. I said, brother, please, I need money. I need like a bill 50. I'll run it back to you. So all I'm doing during the day is literally just doing this. Refreshing, just trying to see the balances change. So I'm sweating now, yeah, and then she's like, oh, do you want more? Should we get more drink?
Peachy figured it out. Oh, see, this is why I'm so... I am inspirational to the youth. I have inspired Peachy to realize the problem here before it even gets to the end. I am appreciative of the work I do to help the fellow individuals like Peachy.
Drinks. In my head, I'm like, this is where it's gonna go left, because if I say no,
yeah, you can't say no.
I can't say no, so I'm going, it's up to you. She's ordered more drinks now. I've then thought, yeah, this is peak. I'm gonna have to ask her to borrow me some money, or let's go halves or something. I just thought, let me just refresh again, and I saw £300 in there. 150 there.
Big up broski, man.
Fabe.
Alright, Fabe, big up
Shout
yourself,
out Fabe.
man.
Fabe knows the story anyway. It gave me confidence in it, but it made me realise I can't do this. This is like living on the edge. So yeah, that was my worst experience I've ever had.
Now, I dare anybody to say, why is that woman getting 4 cocktails? Because she's out to eat. Dip shits. I'm not going on no date where I don't know the price of the restaurant. I'm especially not going on no date where I ain't got enough funds for the date. What? Like, at least Buddy got a partner who like helped him out in that moment. But fuck, I'm looking at you like, man, you can't be on no date. The economy is going up, partners. Y'all might want to take your time, you know what I'm saying? See me? Let me tell y'all something about little old me, you know what I'm saying? If I could flex myself just a little bit. I do want to be in the position where if my potential future wife is like, oh, let's go. I'm doing a great woman's impression right now. Oh, let's go on vacation. I sound like Michael Jackson trying to sound like a kid. It's like, sure, let's fucking go. I'm a spoiler. I want to spoil. Like, I'm one of them motherfuckers. I get you a gift designed for like Christmas, but I want to give it to you right now. Cause like, I'm impatient. But it's like, if I'm trying to get to know you, yeah, I want to go on a date. Yeah, let's go on a date. Yeah, let's go out. Let's get to know each other, all that. Let's go out to eat. Fucking easy ass icebreaker. But I'm not. I'm gonna say this again. For all my young men out there, that need some dating advice, and you seemingly take it from single individuals for some fucking reason because you think a failure is designed to teach you how to be successful. Fuck it. Since you like doing that, let me give you some advice. Make sure your funds are at least a little bit adequate for the first date. Just a little bit adequate. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Ain't gonna hurt to have like, cool little 700 in the bank account for a little restaurant, you know what I'm saying? And hell, you ain't even gotta go that route. Jessa saying it, do what you can afford. If you can't afford like a fancy ass restaurant, cool, you could just be honest, be like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't make that happen for you at this current moment. But we could go do like a what's it called? What's it called when you like go to like some, not even convention center, but like some spot and you like get a bottle of wine and y'all just paint. I think it's called paint and sip. We could do that. We can go to the park. We can go to the art museum. We can go to the World War II museum. Like, we could go out and about and just, like, we can go to this. I ain't been to the zoo in years. What the fuck? I ain't been to the aquarium at least since 2012. So, you know what I'm saying? There's multiple dates you can go on, son. Y'all allow these moments where y'all let social media dictate how y'all want to go about dating, son. And that shit's sad. And I'm disappointed. I almost became this. I almost had the loser mindset. But what got me out of it is the realization I'm not about to allow these marsupials. I ain't say it all stream. I'm going to say it now. I ain't allowing these marsupials to dictate how I'm about to go about, how I'm about to worry about dating. And like, because I'm single. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm single because I can't communicate what the fuck. Like, a nigga can't communicate. Because if I could, I know it's funny because, I got a YouTube channel based around me communicating. But it's like, that's all that really is. So, somebody like me could have a shot if I just go about communicating better, maybe. But it's like, if I do come to that point, it ain't gonna be no. So, like, let's understand something right now, woman. Let's understand that I'm the alpha and you're the beta bitch. Like, nah, let's go out. Let's fucking get to know each other, who we are as people. Like, fuck, what you do, how you operate. How was your day? Like, shit, simple shit like that. But also, because I don't think it was addressed by me or anybody in the chat. Some people not worth the time. And you could tell based off first interactions. I have a story from 2016. If anybody would like to know my dating history of my teenage years. I'm 24 now, but little old Leon was a little ugly motherfucker back then. I was ugly back then. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you seen a picture of me from like 2016, you'd be like, God damn, what a glow up. But I wouldn't fuck with you back then, partner. I had one moment where it was probably one of my first times actually talking to it wasn't a woman at the time, fellow teenage girl. If I could like be diplomatic with this, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I was just talking, not even trying to like say, as I imitate my teenage voice, hey, you want to go on a date? I was just talking because, shit, everybody was in public. So it's like, all right, everybody just talking to one another. The attitude, the personality was so thrown off to me. I was like, all right, bro, cool beans, cool story. That was before I started just saying fuck you to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Back to that failure to communicate. And then in 2017, no, it was the end of 2016. So I did this thing called a debutante ball. And like we had weeks of preparation and all that, dance classes so that we could know how to like get jiggy with it. They had this one chick. Man, she was fine. And it was like one of the moments where it's like, damn, I ain't never really positioned myself to be like, yo, can I get your number? I at that point never did that. Never did that. That was my first time. Boy, I got shot down like a motherfucker. Man, I got shot down like a motherfucker. Ooh, boy. That was bad. That was a bad night for little old Leon. Teenage Leon was distraught. He was distraught. But with it came the experience of like trying to talk, trying to communicate, trying to get to know individuals. Some highs, some lows. It's life. It's gotten me to realize, I'm sorry, Leon. Well, guess what? I was 16. Was I? End of 2016. No, I was 17. That's all it was. Like a moment in time. Shit. Like when it happened, boy, little old Leon was I ain't gonna lie. I ain't got no shame in saying I cried that night. But guess what? I laugh at it now. Shit. Because it's funny to me now. First girl I asked out said, you? I mean, shit. Like, I said I got shot down. I ain't say how I got shot down, but I ain't gonna lie, bro. We got the same exact story. I ain't get told you, but I got that look. You know that look you get when you like ugly? Yeah, I got that look. I was like, damn, that's crazy. But I was like, you know what? Yeah, you ain't gonna look attractive to everybody. But I bet y'all look good looking now. Oh, I've been complimented on my facial features since then. I've been complimented on my voice. The voice talking into the building. But you know what's crazy now? My take on it now is, I think ever since like I started this trend of being in Texas where I interact with women.
Also, stop hiring black people to make Mexican food. Would you trust a white person to make you Chinese food?
And they refer to me as gay. Like in my head, it's like I'm not about to pretend to be something I'm not for pussy. I feel like that's the loser's way out. I feel like that might just be the loser's way out. So if y'all see me ever in life and y'all walk away from it thinking I'm gay and like you wouldn't drop your drawers for me, it's like, that's fine. But I can't really change the structure of my life for a crumb of pussy. It's like, that's not how I'm gonna operate. Because whoever out there that would like consider me somebody to fall in love with, maybe see a potential future as a husband too, like they won't have a problem seeing me as I am. That's all that is. Because unlike the majority of you who live in this sad spectrum, I still believe in love. All right. What was we doing? Oh, we was watching Pearly Things. I went on like a whole like 10-minute ramble illustrating y'all my life story. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker said, oh, I'm sorry, Leon. What's to be sorry about? That's all that is. Oh, I was playing Assassin's Creed the whole time and y'all didn't even see it. Oh, all right. Back to bad dating advice.
Okay. So, knowing all this information, being a guy, why would you want to get married? And this was something that
Because I believe in love.
really hard for me to accept as a chick, where I'm like, wow, like I was sold this dream, right? Where everyone's got one person and everyone's going to be married. But really, if you look at under 40, there's not a lot of marriages. The really last generation of marriages is the 40 to 60-year-olds. Under 40, social media kind of made everything a different time. The women kind of all crazy. So, all right, now we look at this. This is a very, and then you get two groups. There's the groups that say, hey guys, we have to resist this. We need to come out on top. And typically these are good-looking men that really don't represent the average man in America. They don't represent the coal miners. They don't represent the factory workers. They don't represent the bus drivers and the...
Do you think the average man is represented by motherfuckers who sit in front of microphones? You know what? The average man now is represented by these losers. Actually, when you pinpoint this down, wait, she might be on something. Wait a motherfucking minute. The average quote unquote boy now is just bitching about women. Wait a minute. She might be on to something. Wait, I might actually agree with her.
All of this stuff, or they're streamers. That is my biggest pet peeve. When these red pill guys that are streamers, professional talkers. Oh my God, like I do it. Oh my God. So
you don't do it well. And again, she's doing the thing again with the breathing. It's like every time she says something, it's like, my neighbor. Like, stop. Slow down. You're not a fast talker like me. You can't control your breathing. And I have asthma.
Like, and I'm not saying like it is hard to make it on social media, but let's not pretend that these guys have like, or anyone that's on social media has this exceptional character that a bus driver, a trucker does not have, that we are so much more hardworking than the average men that build these societies, okay? So, right? Okay, so now you have the average man. The average man is unattractive to women. Women find 80% of men is unattractive. So maybe they'll find the top 20% of men is hot. The next 20% of men is okay. And let's just...
Where are these stats? The average woman can't do math based on you. Like, what the fuck?
Say he's a 4 or 5. He's a factory worker, 4 or 5, average guy. Why, in his eyes, would he not walk away from marriage and relationships? So right now, the government is basically taking money and giving it to women through either government programs or either through government programs or basically useless jobs. So they give us these jobs in HR, secretary work. I mean, secretaries aren't useless, but like, let's be honest, guys. Let's call it what it is. A lot of women are making money off of the faces. A lot of women we're making money off of being pretty. It's not that we're...
That's not a new thing. And also, what a great way to demean a secretary of a business. Mind you, this woman has a mother who she kind of dry snitched on. She dry snitched on her mom. A mom who started her own business, and Pearl is just like, they're actually they're taking money and doing other things. What the fuck?
Doing so much work. It's not that we're so competent. They have diversity hires, and there are smart women. I'm not taking that away. You know, I like to think I'm a hard worker. I like to think I'm smart, but
no, incorrect on both fronts. Incorrect. Oh my God. No, baby girl. No. You cannot turn around and call people useless and then gas yourself up. Down. I can't do it.
You know, and probably not as smart as a guy in my same position. I'm just being honest, you know. So, okay, why would the average guy sign up for a system and resist this system that is really stacked against him? When I just broke down those marriage numbers for you, it's not...
What marriage numbers? Show me a stat. You just came up with this shit off the top of your fucking dome. Stop. Please. She must have been bullied. It's the thing. There's an old video of her where she admits she's insecure. She is preying upon insecurities of other people.
Really a doom and gloom person to say, well, there's really only a 10-20% chance of success here. And the average woman finds the average guy's ugly. And then we look at body count stats. You know, virgins have an 80% chance of a happy marriage. If you've slept with more than 5 partners, it's like 20%. So now a guy knows, okay, on average, 96% of women are not virgins and probably not going to get a virgin. I'm not really going to know her body count, but nowadays they're higher than ever. I think the average is between like 5 and 9-ish. That's on the more lower stats. Higher stats say between 15 to 25. We don't know, right? Women will lie to the grave. But so he looks at this and he says, all right, so I basically get a fat whore. Average woman's 170 pounds. In history, we'd all be thrown out, right? And I could marry her and start a family. But, you know, now this whole system stacked against me. If it doesn't work out, the last 20 years of working, she can just take my money.
So thanks, Leon. Leon's the reason I see sense now. Yeah, because I want, PG, I want to be invited to your wedding. I want to see PG in her little wet dress and I want to cry and be like, remember when you cooked bacon in the microwave? I made it a rule. If I'm not the best man at every person's wedding, y'all ain't getting married. Fuck all that. I won't be on the stage. I won't be up there. I won't be part of the pictures. If I ain't part of the pictures, you ain't getting married. I'm throwing the cake away. I'm throwing the cake away in front of everybody over there. I'm letting it be known. If I ain't up there, you ain't getting married. You ain't getting married. I tell you what, you ain't getting married. Yeah. Call the wedding off. You ain't getting married. I'm hiding the rings in my ass. You're gonna have a shitty finger.
Money. And even if we have kids, she could talk about me to the kids and then they'll hate me. And like these are the things guys think about. They weigh the pros and they weigh the cons. And right now the cons are just super high. And that's why.
What are the cons? You think I'm just supposed to marry a fat whore? Like, no. I'm gonna, like, what?
I say, you know, I can't blame men for saying, you know what, I'm gonna get a vasectomy and just get out. I'm only gonna deal with these chicks recreationally. I also can't blame men for wanting to have a family, you know, and wanting to take that risk. That's fair too.
Risk?
And
it's it'd only be a risk if you don't know what you're signing up for. Now, I am 24 years young. I have never had a child. Yet, as somebody who's watched individuals have children, and as of maybe 2 weeks ago found out one of my younger cousins is having a child, I realize it is a massive responsibility. One, I'm not really ready for, and that's the reason why I say the Bible says, thou shalt wrap it before thou tap it.
they'll say, well, you can't just walk away from a system that's stacked against you. I would beg to ask why they can't. And the difference between feminism is asking for all of the freedom without any of the responsibility, right? And some of the MGTOW, red pill really is just saying, make your choice, no choices are wrong, because this is a tough system. And
various choices are wrong. Being a male whore is wrong. Thinking you have control over random women to dictate what they can and can't do without really knowing those individuals is wrong.
red pill basically says, well, you guys have all of the responsibility. You have the freedom to do whatever you want. If you want to get married and do that, do it. If you want to get a vasectomy and walk away, do it. If you want to only deal with these chicks recreationally, do it.
That's crazy. Never hear that. Basically just hear bitching about modern women. That's all I really hear. I hear about being a simp. I hear comparing OnlyFans porn stars to Peachy. And once again, I'll repeat this. Peachy ain't spread eagle on OnlyFans.com. Hate to break it to anybody who's a little bit horny for the little peachling. It's not really where you're going to see her. So I can't really compare individuals here. It is all based on what you decide to put your time towards. Put your time towards something where you see the obvious red flags and you run that risk, that is your fault. However, if you want to know what I've been watching recently, mind you, it's probably strictly nothing but content. But you know what the fuck I've been watching recently? There's a streamer that I watch. His name's Agent Zero. This motherfucker has been going on. He's set the bar. He has set the bar. This motherfucker has been doing 5 dates, 5 states. With this other streamer he know, I think Jalen, one of them. This is honestly some of the cutest fucking shit I've seen on YouTube in years. And it's wholesome. And it might strictly just be for content. It might strictly, he did not get engaged. It might strictly just be for content. But it is the most wholesome shit that should inspire any motherfucker to just be like, all right, I could do something, if not similar, something on par. And it could be a fun little fucking thing. And it's wholesome. It ain't that constant OnlyFans, whore, modern feminism bullshit. It's 2 people vibing on dates. And you know what? I'll be cringe. I'll say W Riz. Compared to this, where it's complaining and the women and how dare the boring. Boring complaints. Boring complaints. The bed was compromised. I'm waiting for that joke. Like during any of these fucking dates, I'm just waiting for that joke.
Because right now, you guys are doing all the work. You're paying all the taxes. You're doing all the hard jobs. You've all the
Who's
responsibility.
paying all the taxes? What the fuck? Y'all know women that got jobs pay taxes too? The fuck?
So you should have the freedom to do what you want, and these women aren't your problem. You already pay for them through the state in these useless jobs. Now,
you didn't name a useless job. You named a secretary. You know they got male secretaries?
this isn't a fun conclusion to come to.
I know this is probably the worst question I could ask any of you marsupials, but who's married here? Anybody married? I'm not gonna believe you anyway, but it's like a married person can't agree to any of this.
It is way easier to come on here and say, guys, the solution is family. The solution is marriage. That just resist this system. I don't see any of that happening until they change the divorce laws. So really, it's like you could go be an Amish. Most guys don't want to be Amish. You could go be a passport bro. But a lot of
So look, if I'm ranking the losers of masculinity, it's all a tie. MGTOW, Red Pill, and Passport Bros. They're all losers. If I'm being honest with you. A bunch of dudes. This is what I say about the Passport Bros.
times
They seemingly think they couldn't. A Passport Bro, I'm sorry. No, I'm changing my stance. Red Pill and MGTOW, they're tied. Passport Bros, they're a separate category. They're an individual who couldn't find a woman in their own neighborhood, in their own district, in their own city, in their own state, in another state. They spent time to get a passport, they spent money to get on a plane, and they go all the way to another country with the hopes of thinking that they could pluck a bitch out of thin air and they gonna be married to that one. Like the guy who said they got burned by women 7 times. Some of those are your fault, and you just want me to believe it's all the woman's fault. Sex tourism? That basically.
they bring these chicks back here, they have some of the same problems. And social media, really all these other countries, in my opinion, are just like 20 years behind America. It's
That sounds like somebody who doesn't know anything about a lot of these other countries. Gonna be perfectly honest. Just because a lot of these countries have camels as their mode of transportation does not really mean anything.
It's going to ruin everybody. Or we go back, I would argue, to a more patriarchal system where men really decide what is good and isn't good for us. And we submit to the authority of the men in our home, and we submit to the authority of the men in society. But right now, the difference is feminism, all the freedom, no responsibility. We don't want to do any of the taxes. We don't want to do any of the hard jobs, but we want to be.
What do you mean? Women pay taxes. There are women who are doctors, surgeons, therapists. There are women who work in, I was about to say hardware, in construction. Are there a lot of them? Maybe not. But you can't say just because you don't do it, everybody else don't do it. Just because you see random woman on the internet who's just living her best life doing nothing, don't mean every woman is doing the exact same thing. I keep using Peachy as the example. Peachy's a modern woman. And guess what Peachy does? Works.
Married and have a happy ending at 37 with 2 different baby daddies. That's feminism. Red pill is saying, hey, this system is against you. These women are complete crazies. And I don't blame you for any solution. And
Red pill is being a bunch of losers who want to dictate the future of being a man by pointless babble about how they couldn't get their dick up paying attention to one woman that they thought was going to be the one. And they ended up not being the one because ultimately they got tired of your bullshit. And so now you, layered in all your insecurity, try to make yourself seem like the big man on campus, when in reality, you're a small fish in the small pond. Did I sum it up for you?
different red pill guys have different solutions. So I'll give you an example. One that I hear a lot is Myron's. Sleep with 50 women. Now, guys, Pearl is not...
Whore! You're a whore! You do that, you're a whore! You're a hoary whore! Hate to break it to you, you're not masculine sleeping around. You are... I heard this phrase once, and I stole it. You have community dick. You have a community dick. Everybody in the community know about your penis. And 9 times out of 10, they ain't got a good experience.
Not saying to do this. I rather try to understand where people are coming from. And what's lost in society is really trying to understand where someone's coming from without pushing it. Like, I'm not pushing anything. And
hello, you're the woman who says repeal the 19th. What do you mean you're not pushing anything? Oh, fuck. What?
So he'll say sleep with 50 women, and if a girl doesn't sleep with you on the first date, then get rid of her. Now, why does he say this? And instead of, it's so funny, I used to get triggered by this.
Because he's a loser that got burned, so now he spends his time trying to flex to get pussy that's not really desirable. Oops. Did I crack the code? Did I stumble upon the algorithm with that one? Did I let the mask slip? Feel me?
The reason he says this is because the average chick has slept with multiple dudes. And if she's not sleeping with you, she's probably sleeping with someone. What did happen with Nina Agdal? She made Logan wait, but was she sleeping with someone else? Kind of seems that way. I don't know. You know, I feel bad. People have just been piling on this chick. But, you know, so, and the other thing is, there are predatory women now. Now there's a lot of women that run game. You see these predatory dating coaches teach you how to run game and get a simp that doesn't know.
Predatory dating coaches? Like Fresh and Fit? Did you not just say there's a guy that says, fuck it, sleep with 30 women? Hello? Am I missing something here? What the fuck? I'm not tripping. I just heard her say a guy tells other guys, give up, sleep with a bunch of women. I heard that. I'm not crazy.
Know any better. And you could argue, well, men don't need to sleep around to know better, just find a good woman. Okay, what churches really have a good reputation of the women in them? You know, at some point,
many. Can you pull a stat? Like, please. I don't even think you've been to church. What in the fuck?
All these studies, mean nothing, because we can really come to conclusions
what
based
studies?
on society.
Pull up a stat,
and the thing is, there's
bitch!
a reason, you know, I'm Catholic, sorry, Catholics. There's a reason we have phrases like Catholic schoolgirl. There's a reason that we have phrases like the preacher's daughter. You know, these aren't good connotations. And the truth of the matter is, if churches had a good reputation for making wives, the men would be lined up. There would be, you don't think men, they make ladies' nights for men. If the church has produced amazing wives, there would be a line. And so what the church people will do is, hey, we have these amazing women in church. And the guys will check it out and be like, no, these bitches are crazy. And then they'll be like, they'll get all mad and be like, well, the men are leaving the church. And I'm like, look, guys, and this is where we got to look in the mirror. There needs to be, the churches need to actively seek out men.
Also, stop hiring black people to make Mexican food. Would you trust a white person to make you Chinese food?
Apparently somebody became a member, but I didn't see it at all.
Also, stop hiring black people to make Mexican food. Would you trust a white person to make you Chinese food?
Am I drunk? Why am I not seeing?
Also, stop hiring black people to make Mexican food. Would you trust a white person to make you Chinese food?
Am I drunk?
Also, stop hiring black people to make Mexican food. Would you trust a white person to make you Chinese food?
I feel like individuals are just resubbing their memberships.
Also, stop hiring black people to make Mexican food. Would you trust a white person to make you Chinese food?
I feel like that's the only thing that's happening right now. I feel as though it couldn't be anything else. This stream has been fire. But considering I don't think I've seen you type anything, might be good option. Might be good for me. Might be good for me. You're learning a lot of dating tips from Leon. That's what you're getting. While I'm playing Assassin's Creed. You know?
Women and start pandering to the men. And not even pandering, because you can't pander to men. That's the funny thing, too. All these simp-ass guys will tell me, oh, you're just pandering, grifting. There's no, I don't, well, I mean, people can say things they don't believe, but the thing...
Play that shit again. She just ratted herself out.
They'll get all mad and be like, well, the men are leaving the church. And I'm like, look, guys, and this is where we got to look in the mirror. There needs to be, the churches need to actively seek out men. They need to stop pandering to the women and start pandering to the men. And not even pandering, because you can't pander to men. That's the funny thing, too. All these simp-ass guys will tell me, oh, you're just pandering, grifting.
You are! You're telling them what you want to hear so that they can feel good. You're shitting on women. That's what the fuck they want to hear. And you know what that's called? Pandering. Pandering.
I don't, well, I mean, people can say things they don't believe, but the thing is, you can't really get a huge male following spewing bullshit.
Ha! Oh, no, this nigga didn't, bro. Ha! Play that again. I might be crazy. Hold on. I want her face in full frontal.
That's the funny thing, too. All these simp-ass guys will tell me, oh, you're just pandering, grifting. There's no, I don't, well, I mean, people can say things they don't believe, but the thing is, you can't really get a huge male following spewing bullshit. You can really only do that with women. Men are much more logical than women, unless they're super feminine.
Fucking stroke.
You know, and then what they do is they put a feminine like point of view on young men. They'll be like, well, they're young men being led astray. No, that's more women. Men are pretty logical. That's why men have been walking away from marriage for like 15 years now, because they saw what happened before. And yeah, so that's the difference between red pill and feminism. So feminism, I'll show you. So there's a natural order of the world.
What are you gonna show me?
God, men, women.
I can't take this bitch in this motherfucking try fucking erase board. I can't take it.
Children. Right? And right now,
God, this is chicken scratch. Shit. I thought I had bad hair, right? Shit.
we have these two switched in society. So right now the women are above the men. That's out of order, right? The women are above the men. That's wrong, out of order. And if the men say, I don't want to be a part of the system that is completely out of order, then they're called a red pill doomer, black pill, whatever. Yes, there are good women, but I think as a whole, you're not going to see women switch until there are consequences. Because the truth of the matter is, when women get power for whatever.
What do you mean consequences? What? Why? What do you, Shorty? What do you mean consequences? What are we getting at here? What's the consequence you have for the ladies? You're not gonna describe the consequence because your simple ass got in trouble the last time you tried to be controversial and you had to walk it back because you wanted to fucking try to think you were the ultimate conspiracy theorist and you look like a deer in fucking headlights.
Reason we just don't tend to be good people. Since we've got
the draft, brother, women in the military right now. You got women in the military who know how to operate a gun more than men.
On the right to vote, we have had predatory criminal justice laws, divorce laws, child support law, all that stuff has been bad. So for whatever reason, as a group, we don't pick that. So until women don't have as much power, I really don't see things changing. And I think it's reasonable for men to want to walk away if they want. I think it's reasonable. And I personally would not try to do these stupid shaming tactics because they don't.
The whole stream was a fucking shaming tactic, you silly fuck. I can't. Man. The whole fucking stream was a shaming tactic. Bro, you was just shaming women. You just said women won't learn until there's consequences. Bro, I can't take it. This is the shit y'all watch to learn how to be a man. Y'all look like bitches. There's a reason why I say y'all look like pure bitches. It's because y'all watch this shit and take it serious.
Don't want to do what I think is, what my ideal world is. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you ring that notification bell. I'll talk to you next time.
I want to hear some opposition. And ironically enough, the opposition is coming from Matt Walsh. The red pill view on marriage is just as toxic as feminism. Is Matt Walsh going to agree with me?
Spent a lot of time in my career defending the institution of marriage, and I defend it because it's the bedrock of civilization, so it deserves defending, and I defend it because it's under constant attack, so it needs defending. And one of the most troubling developments in recent years, which we've discussed on the show in the past, is that these attacks are increasingly waged not just from the left, but from certain noisy segments of the right as well. Some right-wing influencers with legions of young, mostly male fans have decided that men should abandon marriage and family life and go their own way. And these influencers, many of whom consider themselves a part of the so-called red pill movement, pretend to despise feminists and yet have essentially arrived at the same conclusion as feminists, which is that we should give up on the family.
My nigga Matt Walsh, he invited to the barbecue. This is crazy. Man. I wonder, because I've been saying this, but apparently I'm a hater. But nah, Matt Walsh said, I wonder. Let me look at the comments. Let me look at the comments. Let me see. Marriage as a concept isn't the problem. Our culture and laws are the problem. We have lost a lot of the value that make a successful relationship long term. That is not true. There are not any laws that restrict that. Imagine being a divorce lawyer and making a living off broken families. I mean, you got to do something. Having Matt spell this out for society alone is a tragedy. Yes, it is. Yes, it truly is. You really butter the pecan when you have to have Matt Walsh speak on it.
The two sides hate marriage almost as much as they hate each other. Now, one of these influencers is a woman named Pearl Davis, who has garnered a relatively large following on YouTube and various social media platforms. She's in her mid-20s, single and childless, and yet full of opinions about modern marriage and family life, a subject that she has no personal insight into whatsoever.
Matt Walsh.
She spent the past few days on the internet complaining about quote-unquote tradcons like myself, who, she says, promote the nuclear family despite not understanding what it's really like. Yes, we men who actually have wives and children don't know what it's like to be married, but a woman who is not married and has no children does know what it's like.
Oh my God, I'm busting several nuts. This is amazing. This is what I like. This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. I'm hot because I'm fly. You ain't because you not. This is why I'm hot. Man, am I a Matt Walsh fan now?
In one of her tweets, she wrote, quote, "The tradcons push marriage because they aren't old enough to know better. They don't know the reality of what they're pushing." This is accompanied by a picture of myself, Ben Shapiro, and Michael Knowles. We aren't old enough to know better and don't know the reality of what we're pushing, yet a woman who is younger than us and single does know better and does understand this reality. In another post, she goes on to say that marriage is a terrible deal for men, and she later explains, quote, "Would you ever sign a contract that fails 75% of the time where your business partner is paid to break the contract? Why would you encourage men to sign that contract until the terms are fixed?" Now, you may be surprised to learn that marriages fail at a rate of 75%. The figure that people like this normally use is 50%. And the claim that 50% of marriages end in divorce is already spurious, and we'll have more on that in a moment, but 75%? I was wondering where that number came from, so I scrolled down and I saw something that she reposted from an alleged lawyer who said this, quote, "It's not 50-50, that only accounts for divorces. Another 25% on the negative side for..."
Yes, Twitter. From the law of self-defense.
"Miserable men trapped in cheaper to keep her marriages, unwilling to risk financial destruction and loss of their children. 75% chance of a devastatingly bad outcome is just a bad plan. No sane person would enter into a commercial contract on such terms." Now, I did ask him where he got this 75% figure from, and he wouldn't say. Apparently, the magic statistic...
From Finn ass... You know where he got it from? He got it from my ass crack. That's where he got it from.
...fairy came and whispered it in his ear. Now, for her part, Pearl later tweeted a picture of Pierce Brosnan with his wife of 20 years, and she questioned whether the marriage counts as successful since Brosnan's wife has put on some weight at the age of 60. So apparently, even if they're happy and have remained married for 2 decades, they still might fall into that 75% failure rate because they have not both remained in supermodel condition into their 60s.
Yeah, PG, Natanya, who was the Jess. If you actually have a successful marriage, but you get fat and old, you know, as a fucking aging human, your marriage is still a fucking thing. Dawg, I swear on everything I hate and love, these the people, y'all. Not Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh. Is Matt Walsh becoming me? Dear Lord. Have I inseminated my seed of common sense? Yes, that's how I phrase it. Into Matt Walsh? This is amazing. I'm a father. This is wonderful. And I love every second of it. I'm already fat. Well, I hope you ain't looking to get married. Because apparently, if you're married and you get old and fat, your marriage is gonna fucking fail. Why? No reasons. No, none based in facts, but there's reasons.
This debate on social media brought out the rest of the marriage skeptical crowd on the right. A bunch of these red pill influencers decided to hop on an emergency Zoom call and spend 2 hours talking about me and the rest of the Daily Wire crew and our reckless promotion of society's most fundamental institution. Now, there's one clip here that you should see. This is apparently a divorce lawyer who says that the failure rate for marriage is not 50% and it's not 75%. It is, in fact, even higher. Listen.
I think marriage can be successful, of course. It's just not something that's as scalable as we as a society.
Who is this human Squidward?
Society are trying to pretend it is. Marriage is, and I've said this 100 times and I'll say it 100 more, marriage is like the lottery. You are probably not going to win, okay? You're probably not going to win. Don't make that your 401k. You're probably not going to win. But if you win, What you win is so great that I don't blame you for buying a ticket and trying. I personally don't buy lottery tickets. But when somebody says, yeah, I played the lottery, hey man, somebody's got to win. And you know what? As long as you're not blowing money that you need for food or to put shoes on your kids' feet, you're not hurting anybody, go out, give it a try. So I always tell people, listen, marriage, when it works, when you have somebody who's married 20 plus years and they're still crazy about each other, that is the exception, not the rule. But when you do it, it's phenomenal.
Who is this cast of dorks? Like, who are these fucking people? I know him. That's the dude who got bitched out by Brittany Venti. Guy who's too scared to show his face. Loner stoner. Albino barber. Midlife crisis here at the bottom left corner. Guy who's in his 40s still wearing hoodies. Biker. The guy who needs a haircut and who probably steps outside and says, get her done. And the guy who pretends that just because he dresses fancy, it means anything. Have I figured them all out?
It's phenomenal. So why not buy the ticket, take the ride, but have a prenup? Wear a seatbelt, guys. You can be a safe driver, but wear a seatbelt.
So a happy marriage, he says, is like winning the lottery. And the thing about the lottery is that almost everybody loses. This is a perfect summation of how this entire club views marriage and the message that they're sending to young men in particular. Sure, it can be great, they concede, but only if you're insanely lucky. Everybody else is screwed. This is a rather bleak view of marriage, and thankfully, it's also nonsense. First of all, the claim that marriage isn't scalable is obviously ridiculous because marriage has served as the bedrock of human society since time immemorial. It has already happened at the scale of civilization for thousands of years. Now, the divorce lawyers come along and say that, this thing that society's been doing forever, turns out it doesn't work. Unless you're the one in a million. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous claim. Now, what about the failure rate of marriages in our culture? We've heard 50%, we've heard 75%. We just heard that they fail at a rate similar to the rate that people lose the lottery, which would mean higher than 99%, a lot higher. Yet, these kinds of astronomical odds are not based in anything but the doom and gloom speculations of the people inventing them. There is no evidence that having a happy marriage is as unlikely as winning the lottery, or that 75% of marriages end in misery. And what about the 50% number? Well, this is at least is a familiar statistic. It's something that you've probably heard before. 50% of marriages end in divorce. It's familiar, but it is bogus. And one way you know that it's bogus is that people have been claiming that 50% of marriages end in divorce since I was a kid. I've been hearing that my whole life. And that
He's not the only one.
would mean that divorce rates are static
I heard that too.
across time. But of course, that isn't the case. In fact, we know that divorce rates have gone down in recent years. So where does the 50% figure come from? Apparently, it's a holdover from the 1980s, which is when people first started citing that statistic. It's not true today. And it's actually not clear that it was true even in the 80s either. So what is the actual divorce rate? It's a little bit hard to determine. Probably our best guess is based on U.S. Census data, which according to the most recent figures, says that about 35% of American adults who have been married have been divorced. So it's not exactly going to give us a precisely scientific figure of what the divorce rate is, but it's as close as we're going to get, 35%. And 35% is high. I mean, it's way too high. It's not 50% though, and it's not 75%, and it's not 99%, and it's definitely not lottery odds. Still, isn't it terrifying to think that if you get married, your chance of failure is 35%, and the chance of success is only 65% at the most? Even if we go with that number, isn't that still very, very scary? Isn't it high enough that it should dissuade anyone from attempting it? The answer to that question is no, and here's why. If the divorce rate is 35%, or even if it's 50%, it does not follow that your own particular marriage has a 35 or 50% chance of failure. Now, I'm not saying that you should be cocky or reckless, or that you should see yourself as invincible. I am saying that you shouldn't, on the other extreme, see yourself as passive debris floating helplessly on the tide of statistical likelihoods. Because you are an individual. Your marriage is an individual thing. And its chances of failure are not set by society at large. So here's an example to illustrate what I mean. And this is really, really important to understand because as marriage rates fall, and those are falling, the thing that convinces so many people to not marry in the first place are numbers like this. And this misconception that, well, look at the divorce rate, and that is my own specific chance of getting divorced. And I'm here to tell you that's not how it works. Well, a company's looking out for you when they actually upgrade your service and don't charge you for it. This is great news.
Bitch, give me an ad during this great discourse.
So I think this illustrates it. The obesity rate in the United States is over 40%. Does that mean that your own chances of becoming obese are 40%? No, it doesn't. Your chances might be 5%. They might be practically zero, or they might be quite a bit higher than 40%. That's because obesity is the result of behavior and choices. If you do not engage in the behavior or make the choices that lead to obesity, you will not become obese. The fact that 40% of people around you are fat does not mean that you automatically have a 40% obesity risk. Now let's take another example. Car accidents. Americans get into car accidents at a certain rate. I'm not sure what the rate is. It doesn't matter for our purposes. What does matter is that your own individual chance of getting into a car accident is not the same as every other driver on the road. The people who compile statistics will say things like, motorists have an X% chance of getting into a collision. But you are not just a generic motorist. You are an individual. Now, you can never bring your own chance of dying in a fiery car wreck down to zero. But if you're a responsible driver, then obviously your chances of getting into an accident are much lower than the chances of someone who is not responsible. All of those stupid drivers who don't understand the basic rules of the road and like to tweet and eat while they drive and everything else, they're inflating the numbers for everyone.
Hey, man, I tweet and eat. What you mean, bro?
They're also making the roads more dangerous for everyone. You know, they are actually actively making your own chances of getting into a car accident higher because the roads are filled with stupid people. But your chances are not as high as their chances. You do not share their level of risk unless you're as dumb as they are. Because again, you are an individual, not a mere statistic. So what about marriage? It's true that even if you do everything right, things can still fall apart if your spouse doesn't follow that program. Now, if you both do everything right, or even most things right, then your chance of divorce is basically zero. But you can do everything on your end, and maybe your spouse doesn't do the same, and then it falls apart anyway, and that happens, and it's terrible, but it happens. It's also true that there are many, many things you can do in your marriage and before your marriage to make it much more secure than the average. Obvious things. Like you can marry someone who shares your same fundamental values. Not everyone does that. In fact, a lot of people don't. A lot of people go into marriages knowing ahead of time that they're marrying someone who doesn't share their fundamental values. Their chances of divorce are going to be somewhere much higher than yours if you don't make that basic entry-level mistake that they have made. You can do other things. Like you can state from the outset that you both in principle don't believe in divorce and won't consider it as a viable option for solving any marital difficulties you may experience down the line. You can have a strong and shared faith. You can establish from the beginning a habit of honest communication. You can make time for each other. You can continue to date, even or especially as your lives get busier and you start having kids and so on. You can make a strong effort to be patient with and grateful to each other. You can take care of your body and your appearance. You can do all these things and more. Now, I'm not saying that if you do all of this, it will bring your divorce chance down to zero. I'm not denying that there are plenty of people out there who did all this, at least on their own end, and yet still ended up divorced. That's not my point. My point is that the divorce rate doesn't take any of that into account. The people who take none of these basic steps are lumped in with the people who do all of it, and we're supposed to believe that both groups have an equal chance of marital failure. That's just not true. Now, I don't deny that there are real serious problems with marriage in our society. The so-called red pill people and others, they raise totally legitimate and important points on that end. We need drastic reform, abolish no-fault divorce. The entire family court system has to be torn down and rebuilt. The system is stacked against men in many ways that are extremely unfair and have ruined countless lives. So let's fight for those reforms, absolutely. But this systemic problem is not going to be solved today or tomorrow or next week. Abolishing no-fault divorce is just the beginning of reforming the system. Lawmakers in a small number of red states have only just started to seriously consider that idea, which is merely step one. So we're a long way off from fixing the system. It took decades to get us here. It will take decades to get us out at best. Anyone who tells you anything else is selling you something. They're selling you a bill of goods.
A bill of dreams.
This is a decade-long, long-term struggle. The question is, what are young men, young people in general, supposed to do in the meantime? And this is where the red pill becomes more of a hazy, foggy, ambiguous pill. They have no answer. They simply shout about reforms that are needed, yet have nothing to say to the young men in our culture today who will be old, if not dead, by the time the system is fixed, if it's ever fixed at all. What are these young men supposed to do right now? What kind of life would you have them lead right now?
Fuck a bunch of random women.
Now, today. The answer, it appears, is that an entire generation of young men, if not multiple generations, should skip marriage while we wait for the system to improve. But this is not a viable solution. It's not a solution at all. It's a surrender. You're asking entire generations to give up their bloodline, their legacy, their chance of finding the transcendent joy and meaning that family life can provide. You're asking them to give up on themselves and on civilization itself. For thousands of years, human beings have always understood that their most basic purpose and obligation was to form families and have children. And yet you're telling these young men to ignore this calling and do what instead? Live for themselves alone, wasting away in front of screens, only to die with no descendants, leaving no lasting mark on the world? Think about the kind of misery you're consigning these men to. Think about the catastrophic, probably fatal effect this would have on our country. You can't give up on propagating the species for a few decades and then pick it back up again like nothing happened. That doesn't work on any level, individually or societally. It is a recipe for despair and collapse. Am I saying that young men and women should accept the risk then and get married anyway? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. That doesn't mean you should be reckless. I've already talked about many practical things you can do to mitigate your own risk so that it's not a roll of the dice. You should do all those things. Don't go into marriage blind, but don't run from it either. Even if you mitigate the risk to the extent possible, still there will be a risk. That's true, but here's the rub. All good things come with risk. The more worthwhile it is, the worse and more disastrous it will be if you fail. If you take on more responsibility, then your life will be more consequential, and the more consequential your life is, the more cataclysmic your failures potentially become. A married man with children lives a life of greater consequence than a single man with no children. There are more people depending on him. He has a greater stake in the future. This means that if things go sideways, it'll be a tragedy. If he screws up or his wife screws up or they both do, his life will be ruined, his children will be devastated, and the impact will reverberate down through the generations. This is what it means to live a high-impact, consequential life. These are the stakes. And yes, they are quite high. Now, sure, you can stave off that sort of catastrophe by staying by yourself, never going out on a limb, never taking any risk, never marrying, never having kids.
Ironic given what Peachy's talking about in chat.
Never striving for anything great or meaningful in life. But then you're not avoiding failure and misery. You are guaranteeing it. You are ensuring that you never lose your family in a divorce by never having a family to lose in the first place, which is like ensuring that you never go bankrupt by being bankrupt to begin with. I'm not going to lose all my money because I'm going to stay broke. I beat the system. Not losing by having nothing to lose is a loss in itself.
Dorks.
And I don't want that for anyone. It's not a path to happiness and prosperity for either you or society. It is a path to defeat, a preemptive and self-imposed defeat. And that is the worst kind of all. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening to the show.
Motherfucker, Matt Walsh was cooking. This motherfucker was cooking. And, quite eloquently, systematically destroyed every concept persuaded by anybody who's red pill speaking about marriage. I do enjoy it, and I do love it. Are people afraid of being single? Concept of being alone is kind of scary for some individuals. And more so alone in the sense of, you know, you ain't got nobody to love on. You ain't got nobody like hold hand, go on dates with, that type of shit. To some people, that's a scary thing. It's nice to be afraid. Sometimes the fear is warranted. Sometimes you gotta, just a little bit, you gotta get out of that fear just a little bit. I'm saying this directly to Peachy. You gotta just ease your, I'm not saying, hello world. Say just ease your way out of it. Because it's perfectly fine to be afraid of a bunch of shit. But if you live in the fear, guess what? The fear won. And now look at you. Stuck, stupid, dumb, alone, nothing. With nothing. That's why, well, I don't hope all y'all fall in love because I'm pretty sure some of y'all suck. Like, I'm going to use Peachy as an example. I hope Peachy fall in love. I hope Peachy gets out of her comfort zone of booing and hissing and losing at Mario Party and actually fucking meets somebody and builds up confidence to be like, hi, my name, do my Peachy impression. Hi, Peachy. Would you like to go on a date? And my Peachy impression. You know? Because being like this. Oh, wait.
And giving it to women.
Shut up. Being like this is not the best option. Because this person is layered in insecurities and is too stuck, dumb, stupid, and a little bit slow. And somehow has an audience of people who believe in everything she says. Not a good life. Not a good life. Look at, you know what? Look at me. I kind of got a, you know, I got a little thing going on. I got a, you could say I got a crush on somebody. I'm 24 years old and I'm using that language. But given the circumstances, I can't operate at the current moment. But you know, I'm building up to it. And you know, maybe I get shot down. Maybe it turns into something special. Who knows? I won't know if I pussyfoot around. So time will ultimately tell. And you know, maybe it could work out. Maybe it won't. Hello? Leon gonna do his best man speech and recount all the times I lost at Mario Party? Absolutely. When you cursed, you didn't curse out Jared. When you made Jared very upset. Jared was very upset with you for like a minute. That's all it is, bro. Y'all let y'all fear get y'all ain't gonna get nowhere. Y'all not gonna get nowhere. I wish y'all would be better than that, but some of y'all would be better. Some of y'all gonna be stuck in y'all ways. I don't know how y'all come upon that conclusion. And to the people who you afraid but you willing to try, just go slow with it. Just go slow with it. Don't just go full throttle, because you're gonna go full throttle and pass up a bunch of shit, whether it be red flags for either that person or yourself. Just take it very fucking baby steps. There you go, baby steps. Don't be like these losers. These losers, they live in fear, and they try to mask it by trying to look good. But the problem is, we see them on the internet. They don't look good at all in any capacity. In my eyes, they look pathetic. And they've always looked pathetic. And it's a shame how many people adopt their philosophies and they look pathetic fucking also. And it's sad. It's a little bit sad. Leon going Barry White. The problem is, I don't even know who that is. I don't know who a Barry White is. So, what does that say about me? It says a whole tank-a-ton lot about little old me. But I'm fine with it. Personally. Not at all offended by the concept you give me upon today. You know? Oh, man. What am I looking for? I'm looking for something. Barry White, the old soul singer. I'm glad you described who that is, but that does not get me to realize who that is. Sorry. One would say I hate to be that guy, but we all know I love to be that guy. You don't know Barry White? Nope, sorry. Sorry, I'm not in the old folks' home like you people. You Mars. Hills. Sorry, I'm not like y'all. You know what I'm saying? I just want a bunch of you motherfuckers to be happy. That's all it is. But that's all I got. I ain't got nothing else. I ain't got nothing else. So what's gonna happen is I will be sending you all on your way. I know. You want to stay here. You want to stay with the cool kid, but you know what? The cool kid tired of looking at you. Cool kid tired of seeing you. I gotta go get me some food. I got videos to record because this week I'm going to record a few videos. As y'all see me like hanging out with a bird, I'm gonna record a few videos. When's the Spider-Man stream? The Spider-Man stream is more than likely this Thursday going into Friday. Kind of hoping I can get my costume that I ordered before that, or at least the day of. Like, really, realistically, motherfucker just gifted me 10 memberships. I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. Should I keep streaming just a little bit longer because I got 10 memberships? I feel like it's not fair that I end the stream right as somebody's gifted me 10 memberships. Is that fair? I don't think that's fair.
Would you trust a white person to make you Chinese food?
Would you?
Also, stop hiring black people to make Mexican food. Would you trust a white person to make you Chinese food?
It's up to me, you say. 20 extra minutes?
People to make Mexican food. Would you trust a white person to make you Chinese food?
I don't know. Pigeon salad, you just sitting in here. I'll let pigeon salad decide. Peter, should I go just a little bit longer? Cause you gifted the subs or the memberships? I said subs. Oh man, God, how? That hurt. Oh no. You know what? I'm gonna keep it going. Just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. Cause you know what? What's something else I can watch that's interesting? I mean, if you want to, you can. I don't mean to hold it. I mean, fuck. Feel a little bit insensitive to just walk up on out of here right as you gifted sub. I'm just saying. What's something I can watch? What's out there? Applebee's or Chili's? Applebee's. Dollar margaritas. Are you crazy? Well, I almost got banned from the Applebee's around me. Like these motherfuckers try to get me up out of there. I'm like, whoa, wee. I just wanted 40 margaritas, bro. This is crazy. I just wanted 40 margaritas. How y'all gonna do me like that just because I wanted 40 margaritas? I mean, fuck, I guess I'll fucking... There's not nothing to talk about with Sniper. All the dumbass bitch did was fucking... I don't know why I'm starting this off like all she did was something like slight. She showed up at somebody's house and I think posted the address or posted the front door. It was dumb. It wildly fucking stupid. And she should be facing a consequence for that. She should not be getting off scot-free for that in any capacity. She might, but YouTube's a little bit different from Twitch, so she might not. One will have to tell in the future, and I feel like that might be the outcome. She herself needs to be banned, or at least face a consequence for that shit, because I don't see how the fuck y'all gonna let somebody just show up around somebody's house. What's your take on Israel? What a great question. Go watch my last video. Go watch the video I uploaded 3 hours ago. You'll get your answer. Fast food prices are wilding. I'm better cooking in my own food. I mean, duh, that's what you should have been doing anyway before fast food, motherfucker. The fuck was you doing just sitting in there not doing that? You could have been cooking at home. She took a picture of the house and posted it on Instagram to thousands, if not millions of people. Yeah, that is bad. That's bad. You should do. You should not do. It's not a good choice. Not a good option. Would I do something like that? No, but I'm not stupid. I've seen someone in a chat say that his address is stupid easy to find, like one of the first Google results. I haven't checked to know if it's true. I don't want to check to know if it's true. And even if it is, why are you showing up at this person's house? See, somebody like me? I ain't gonna say it. See somebody like me? We rambunctious rebel rousers here. We don't allow nothing like that. So at my front door, we gonna have a problem. A problem. And the problem ain't gonna be with me. The problem gonna be with y'all in the funeral home. And whatever y'all decide to do with that information. You know what? Where's Peachy? Peachy! Oh, Peachy! Let me see something. Where's Peachy? Pick up the phone, PG. It's PG time. You ain't doing nothing. Oh, now I gotta wait 50 years for Peachy to look at her phone and be like, oh my God, what? You're still streaming? What? 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 But Peachy's gonna sit there and be like, what? Peachy! Get off mute! What you hiding? Why you on mute? Get off mute. Get off mute. Get off mute. Get off mute. Get off mute.
What?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Peachy.
Hello.
How are you?
Tired, but okay.
Tired? What are you tired for? It's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm doing homework.
Homework? Nerd.
Yes, I'm always doing homework.
Nerd.
Yep. Doing
Ugh.
like 3 hours.
Oh, a woman working? What a concept. Who would have thought of some shit
Oh, your
like
stream
this?
ended.
Oh, no, I'm still going.
Hmm.
Somebody gifted 10 memberships. I was like, you know what? Let's keep it going. Just a little bit longer. So, Peachy, did I give you a little bit of confidence? That, the next time you see that masculine man when you're walking your dog, you're going to be like, you're going to flick your hair and be like, hi, my name's
He doesn't
Peachy.
live around the area.
Well, go
I
get
don't know
him.
where he lives. I think he moved.
Well, go move next to him.
Yeah, sure, that's easier said than done.
Just go.
You know what the crazy part is? The last time I could have at least had a simple conversation with him, I was out of a whim, I hope, pray to dear God, he like never finds this podcast by any means. But we were in a little. Well, I decided to wake up really early in the morning because I just couldn't go back to sleep. And you know, I'm gonna do something different today. I'm gonna take my laptop. I'm gonna go to this little coffee shop I've been wanting to go to for a while and just sit down, write, and drink tea. Right. So I woke up, did that, and I guess I was so engrossed with my writing or reading or whatever I was doing that I got a message, and I looked at the message, and he was like, "You do realize I was trying to call your name at the coffee shop, right?" I was like, "What?" Like, yeah, I literally was like right there saying your name, and you didn't hear me. And I was like texting him back, and I was like, "Oh well, come back. I didn't see you. I'm so sorry." Nah, I gotta go to work now. No. And to make matters worse, I didn't know where the exit was, and I went out the wrong door, and I was locked outside, and I texted him to call him.
Poor little Peachy.
Like, can you come get me?
Poor little Peachy.
And he was like, what did you do? I was like, I got locked out. He's like, where did you? I had to embarrass myself that way. Like, where did you go? How did you get locked out? It's like, I thought this was the exit. And he was like, no. I was like, can you come get me? He was like, I'm in the middle of a meeting. It's like, okay, have a good day. So yeah, I'm embarrassed. Just my face is all red just thinking about it. I was so upset.
Poor little Peachy.
No, like, I'm literally like, my face is heating up. That's not a good sign.
I mean, experience meets tragedy, oftentimes.
Oh, I just made a fool out of myself.
You don't
How are
know
you?
my name.
Having a crush sucks. I don't even want to call it a crush because it's kind of, sorta.
It's a
Like, it makes you
wonderful
feel all
thing.
tingly and weird, but at the same time, you feel all tingly and weird. So you don't know how to act. And you can make a fool out of yourself like I did.
That is true.
And it sucks.
Could be a wonderful experience for you.
And I did take speaking of crushes and whatnot, and I know I'm not the exception, but I feel like people need to hear this too. If it doesn't go the way you think it does, just take the L and move on. Like, I feel like that's not said enough. Like, people go, oh, what if she rejects me? What if he doesn't accept me? So move on.
Shit. At least you tried.
And like, oh, why are you gonna do it, Peachy? Ha, no, I'm a coward. That's different. Like,
Peachy got this weird precedent where she'll fucking be a therapist but won't take her own therapy.
that is very strange, yeah. And I think I said this before too. I was actually, for some reason, I can't wrap my head around this. I was the person people went to for relationship advice. I'm not even lying. Like, Peachy, I have this problem with my boyfriend, or Peachy, I have this problem with my girlfriend. I'm like, why are you asking? I've never dated a soul. Why are you asking me? It was very strange. Oh, by the way, the L I took, the same person, by the way, that I'm referring to. So this is Christmas time.
This
In
motherfucker. Wait a
in this-
minute. This motherfucker just said. Just think of how 16-year-old Leon went about it. What? Cried in the bathroom? Hello? Did you forget that part?
True. How did she reject you?
We ain't talking about me no more.
I think you missed my message too. I was made fun of for my first crush made fun of me in a middle school. Like I confessed in a letter, cheesy letter, but a letter, and he and the boys got together and laughed at me while ripping it apart.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Don't worry, we're friends now. It's all good.
Man, I'd have been like, yep, that's it. I'm
Middle
straight.
school was pretty cringe, so.
I had to
And there was another
traumatize
point in
me.
time where there was a thing going. I forgot what this trend was called. Maybe it was just my area. Who knows? You'd write a name down in someone's hand, and if you couldn't guess the name, the person that was written in your hand, you had to date them. And I guess someone wrote my name in someone's hand, and they couldn't guess the name, and I was the laughing stock for the rest of the day. Yeah. Oh, and the person that apparently I was quote unquote dating had me walk up to his lunch table. I say had me, no one forced me. They just kept badgering me to do it, and I finally did it. And he dumped me in front of everyone. Quote unquote dumped me. And they all laughed at little me.
Oh.
I know. Sad day.
Y'all wonder
Sad
why
day for
motherfuckers
Peachy.
become school shooters. Shit like that.
No, I was the weird kid though, so I'm like, I don't really take too hard of a. I was the weird kid. Let's be honest, weird kids are not gonna have a normal middle school nor high school. Like when you're a weird kid, weird things happen. Don't be surprised when they do. Where was I going with this? Right. So I think my first indirect L that I received with a quote unquote crush. I was genuinely thinking maybe I should get him something for Christmas, something small, like, hey, here, I got this for you. I was thinking of you. Like, maybe that'd be the right way to go. And I guess he read my mind because I got a text message one day and he was like, hey, Peachy, I need your advice on something. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. What's a good gift to get at a Sephora? Because I worked at Sephora at the time. He was like, oh, well, there's this, that, and such, and makeup, whatever. And he was like, oh, cool. Well, do you have, I was wondering if you had this particular product because I want to give it to a girl I like. And I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, we've been talking for a while. And this is somewhat how the conversation went, but the spoiler is it wasn't me. So, and he also asked if I could use my discount to get the gift and he paid me back. That was fun.
Man, why can't we catch
So that was
break?
my. I would like to when someone asks like what was my first like official L relationship wise, I genuinely go back to that. Like, but it wasn't intentional. That's the thing.
What a way
So
to
yeah,
live.
women can receive L's too.
What a way to live. What in America?
Side though, there was a point in time where we were we decided to go to a group gathering, right? And it was just the two of us because we were the first ones to arrive, and I was carrying a conversation as awkwardly as possible because I'm not just going to stand there in silence, right? And he randomly kind of looked at me and was like, "You're very interesting," and I still think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peachy too good to be treated substandard. I mean, I'm still a person. I do have my flaws, believe it or not.
Oh,
So,
yes, you do.
and I guess seeing the women he's gone after in the past and dated in the past, I wouldn't say I'm his type. Oh, yeah.
Have you caught up to Jujutsu Kaisen yet? No.
No, I'm trying to. If I watch too many episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen, I will quite literally go down a rabbit hole of anime, and I have to focus on this homework and whatnot. And that's why I haven't binged anything. Like I don't want to lose focus. I will lose focus. And midterms are in a couple weeks.
Yuck.
Yeah, I know. Is it? Wait. Hold up. When is midterm? Hang on. I thought it was in a. When's? Hold on.
Oh, Lord.
When is midterm? I actually don't. Oh crap! I actually don't know. Oh no! Hang on. Now I'm scared. Is it like next week? I thought it was like in a couple weeks. Now I'm actually looking right now. I do not know this answer.
He comes to find out it's tomorrow.
No, don't say that. No, don't say that. No, I don't want to do this. It doesn't look like it's it for that class. I think it's oh, I'm almost done with one class. That's nice. It is next week. It's in like 2 days.
You know what, PG? Goodbye. Go study. Goodbye. Like, nah, no, not condoning lack of studying for that. And on that note, everybody get out of here. We did it. We went extra. We had our little laugh with PG. Everybody send PG good studying wishes. If you got a crush on somebody and you're nervous, go take the chance. There's real dating advice. Goodbye, everybody.